What's up, my guys? Welcome to the channel. It's your boy, Mike the Goat. Now, today I'm bringing y'all guys a top 10 list of my favorite PS2 games I've played. Now, by the way, I felt like I probably missed a few games off this list, so I probably would end up doing a top 20 just to make things a little more fair, because I was going down a list of PS2 games I've actually played, popping in the old PS2, looking at the memory cartridge, I was like, man, I did miss a few games. Or the games that I really want to recognize. Anyway, this list is in no particular order, so don't worry if your game is like at a top spot or a low spot. It does not mean that it belongs in that spot personally for me. Anyway, let's get started. So starting off this list is Kingdom Hearts 2. My God, this game is nostalgic as Frank. Now, this game was something really special to me. It's the first game that I actually played that had Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters, and you would think the combination of both would not be a comparable or compatible match, but in some weird way it worked, and it worked perfectly. Now the story honestly is really confusing, especially if you didn't keep up with the mobile games. You could easily get lost between 1 and 2, because it's like damn 7 or 8 games in the series, and number 3 is finally coming out after a long hiatus. I mean, from 2, this game came out in 2005, and we just get in the game in 2019, so that's a long hiatus for a game not to come out. But anyway, the characters are all likable besides Goofy. He's a fucking useless piece of shizzle, and but it's still entertaining more or less. The worlds are freaking awesome. The enemies are pretty easy until you get to the bosses, especially the secret bosses, because they will kick your butt. I remember Kingdom Hearts 1, you got to fight Sephiroth, and I just beat him this year. I never beat him when I was a kid. I finally beat him now. This game is incredible. I recommend, if you haven't played it, check it out, because it is a remastered version on the PS3 and PS4. Second on the list is Resident Evil 4. My God, this is a freaking scary game in my opinion, and I don't really mess with too many scary games. But this game freaked me out. Even though now I played it again, it's not scary at all. It's actually pretty funny. But as a kid, I wasn't really exposed to this type of gameplay or scary games. Besides Doom 64, this game had a really great protagonist. The world was pretty awesome. It's really dark and gloomy. The mechanics was pretty easy to use. It did come up with multiple platforms. It's the PS2, GameCube, and I believe it did come out for the Xbox. I gotta double check on that. The story is, like I said, the story is great. I loved it. This is probably regarded as one of the best Resident Evils for a lot of fans, and honestly for obvious reasons, because it kind of stayed true to the roots of what this game was about. I remember playing this game, and I thought it was particularly hard when I was a kid, and replaying it now, I was like, dude, this is probably one of the most easiest games I ever played. But it still holds up even to this day. Like, you can go back and play the original version and have a blast. I mean, if you want a good horror game that's a really good shooter, then my God, please, oh please, pick up this game. And my dude Wes could go hard as hell with those nice shades. Now, this game came out in 2005. Now, this game holds up pretty well. I'm actually pretty impressed how well this game actually hold up. I think I bought this game for actually the GameCube before I actually bought it for the PS2. But my GameCube got broke, so I ended up buying it again and had an absolute blast playing on it. So, Resident Evil. Next on the list is number 8, which is Final Fantasy X, or Final Fantasy X. This game was a hell of a lot of fun, especially I had Kingdom Hearts as well. This was kind of took me back to like the regular traditional style Final Fantasy of turn-based battle systems. This game was really groundbreaking when it came to the graphics. Even to this day, the graphics looks hella good, especially when a game that came out as late as it did. The characters are all likable. The maps are really huge. The world's really nice to explore. It gives you a really great vibe on this game. I will say this, and I believe everybody could agree with me on this. The voice acting was absolutely trash. I mean, you don't even gotta be like, you could be the hardcore fan. I think you could most definitely agree. The voice acting should have had a second look on whoever greenlighted it, because it was comical. Now it's pretty much funny, because I mean it's nostalgic as hell, but oh my God, like I don't know, but I love the game anyway. So there you go, Final Fantasy X. And the song is really dope as fuck too. Coming on the next on the list is my man Kratos in God of War 2. Now, God of War 2 was actually the first God of War I actually played. This one actually takes place after the fact he killed Ares, as you're going to see in a few seconds. As you stab him straight to the heart with that blade, oh Lord. And end up taking the mantle of God of War. Now, I did come back and play the first one and came back, then play the second one. But this one had a lot of nostalgic moments for me, especially. This is probably one of my favorite hack and slash, kind of up there with Devil May Cry. But Kratos as a character is so likable. I've seen so many people cosplay as him, and get tattoos and everything. I mean, the dude is such a badass that you can't really like take that away from him. Like, he's going around killing gods. I mean, what more do you have to say? He's killing gods for doing him wrong. I mean, think about that shit. I mean, that's some really off the wall type stuff. The gameplay was so fluent. I love the gameplay so much in this game. It was really great. It was really dynamic, especially for a game of this of this age. We really haven't seen too many things that was on the scale of this. Now, as the series went on, it did get a little more saturated. Because it was just kind of pumping out the same games over and over again. But to me, this is hands down one of my favorite ones, including 3, but that didn't come out until the PS3. Damn, 2007. Anyway, the next game on the list is regarded as my favorite GTA of all time, even to this day, even competing against 5, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I had so many fun memories. I think I probably put the most hours into this game. This game follows the protagonist named CJ. He comes home from Liberty City. His mom is dead. The gang that he used to run with, Grove Street, has pretty much been demolished, and he has to rebuild his gang and get revenge for his mom, or find the mom, kill her. Through the whole game, you encounter so many incredible people, so many incredible cities. The maps are huge, vehicles is a lot, guns is abundance. You can pretty much change your sex appeal. You can make yourself buff. You can hit the gym. You can eat. You can eat. I mean, if you eat, like, you actually gain weight. I mean, what game you can do that besides The Sims that's like out today? I mean, it's incredible. And the maps was absolutely huge and enormous. I mean, it was so much fun to have in this game. I absolutely enjoyed it. Hands down, my favorite Grand Theft Auto that have ever been created. I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it. I'm playing it right now again. That's how much I loved it. And I remember this game had like multiplayer too. So I mean, this game was so dynamic in so many ways. It was, it was local multiplayer. I could still run around the city in multiplayer. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now, the next game on the list doesn't really need too much introductions, especially for your Star Wars fans out there. Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2, this is the true Battlefront 2 with no DLC packages to hide behind anything that didn't have to have Disney step in to tell guys y'all making y'all game wrong. This game was so much fun. The battles was so much on an epic scale. It blows my mind even to this day. I played it again recently. I was like, man, why can't we have this game again? This game was such a dynamic game. I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved it. Like, it has space battles and you can go from space to land. I mean, what the hell? I mean, you can't find that nowadays, especially for one low price. It was just such a epic scale game. I loved it so much. Battlefront 2. P.S. Please make this game again as a remake and make it the same way that this came out with, because I would love to have this game again. I mean, it's just still incredible that you had so much. I mean, I guess the PS2 days, greed wasn't really there. So I guess, the game developer was just really all about just pumping out content for the fans, and you've seen it in this game. I mean, the game was such a thrill to play. Like, I can't express how much fun I had playing with this game, even by myself. All right. Next game on the list is actually it's Tenkaichi. I think I put Tenkaichi 3. Yeah, sorry. Kind of blew. I went blank for a bit. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. I'm a huge anime fan, and having this game that had over, I think, 150 characters. Yeah, at 150 characters was absolutely mind-boggling. And this was kind of like, I came from, I think, Budokai to this one. And it was an open world fighter game, that's something I've never seen that far from that that vast, especially for my franchise I hold so dear to my heart. I mean, 150 playable characters. What game does that, period? Like, period. Like, please let me know if there's a game that has 150 playable characters, that's 100% unique, that has their own background and story. Let me know, because I would love to argue this game down. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 for the win. Now, back in my youth, your boy was a big skateboard fan. And when I say a huge skateboard fan, I mean I absolutely adored Tony Hawk. Now, Tony Hawk has been on a really decline recently, and it's unfortunate. But Tony Hawk Underground 2 World Destruction Tour was hella fun. It put Bam versus Tony Hawk. The saying that now, I probably don't hold too much water, but they was on the top. They was at their prime when this game came out, and they have Bam Margera still with MTV. I mean, you had so many legendary skateboarders here. I mean, it had like Mike Vallely, Ronnie Mullen, Chad Musket. I mean, come on, like it's just so many incredible figures here, and even more inside the game. I think even Jesse James in here, like my dude Wee Man's in here. Come on, like it was just so much fun. And as a skateboard game, it was such a fantasy skateboard game, but still, like, it felt somewhat real. Like, it was just so off the wall, crazy bonkers. Like, I wish creators make games like this again. Like, this really spoke to me. Like, I remember playing the first ones for like Nintendo 64, and they came up with this crazy stuff. Like, it was just stupid, crazy fun that didn't make any logical sense on why the game even existed, but it did, and I had so much fun playing it. Next game on the list is Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now, this game, I absolutely hated the cutscenes. Like, this shit was absolutely garbage to me. I hate putting actual real people in games because for some reason they do a horrible job on making this happen. Now, the newer Need for Speed, the one that came out, what was that? What was called? What's it called? Need for Speed. It was all nighttime and crap. They did the same thing, and it turned out absolutely garbage. But this game was so much fun. I mean, the characters was, but the gameplay was like, oh man, this is what Need for Speed should have been. This an arcade game. This game had pretty much, as you can see, a top 15 blacklist where you have to make your way up to the list to get to my dude Razor rocking that M3. Now, this is probably one of my favorite ones. I think, honestly, I probably had a lot more fun playing Underground 2, but this was more refined as a gameplay wise. So it had more up-to-date cars, more legendary cars. The map was really great. It was just such a blast to play, and they had the instructive environments, as you can see as well. Like I said, besides the somewhat corny story the corny story, I thought it was still really fun, but I guess it was more targeted towards kids anyway, and not like adults. So I can give it a forgiveness on that. But like I said, I guess when I was a kid, I didn't mind it, but now looking back on it now, it's somewhat cringeworthy. But hey, I mean, fuck that guy. I beat him multiple times, and I took his car. So but yeah, it was a fun game, and the seats, it was. This game is a mess, but I absolutely loved it. Next game on the list is Def Jam Fight for New York. Hey, this game was the ish. This game brought, oh my god, I had so much fun playing this game with my friends. What game do you know that brings actual live figures that's in the world, but besides Celebrity Deathmatch, of course, that you could play with? It has so many like rappers that I wish they made a game like this again. I mean, and there's so many legendary. I mean, you can play as Method Man, Busta Rhymes, Snoop Dogg, Ludacris, Carmen Electra, Danny Trejo. I mean, Bubba Sparks. I mean, it was just why did this game exist, and why was it so good? It was just an arcade beat 'em up. That was just so much fun, and I had so much time enjoying. The Blazers was so much fun. The story was I mean, I thought the story was good, especially as a kid. I mean, I didn't mind the story at all. My dude was Zibik pimping Rise. My dude Ice-T with the damn thing. Scarface, David Banner. I mean, I can name all these people off because I beat them all up with my character anyway. This game is something special and it's whole dear to my heart. I absolutely love this game, and I think I loved it a lot because I was really good at it. Like I challenge anybody, if you could come in and whoop my butt in this game, I'll give you $50. Like seriously, $50, $50 whole dollars in your hand. I'll beat you with D-Bob. You know what I mean? Like I will beat you with the worst character in this game. Well, I don't think honestly all characters are pretty decent in this game, but I don't think it has been a game like this in a while. They did come out with another version of it on the Xbox 360 called Icon. It was absolutely trash to gameplay. They took away the arcade fighting style. It was way more slowed down. The characters was really weird on their models, and you had this little weird record spinning thing where you do something with your hands and it changed the whole dynamics of the game. I guess. Other than that, I'm going to wrap the video up right here. Y'all guys have a fantastic day. Your boy Mike to go. I'm out. If you want to hit me up, do it on Snapchat, as you can see on the screen right here. Like, comment, and subscribe. And your boy is out. Have a fantastic day.